Okay, now I think we're good.
Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. The parts that we never got around to, I forget. Anyway, welcome.
The things we didn't get to on the show.
Okay.
How does he say it?
I don't know.
Welcome to the Wally Show
tune
Aftercast.
him
The
out.
things we didn't get to on the show
Today. Drags that out. Today. Wally isn't here. He is out for the rest of the week. He's
Amen.
on a Disney cruise. I know. T's and P's, thoughts and prayers. I saw where he posted on our stories. Did you see where, like, the room?
And then Marty was, probably for work, she was filming the room at one point, and he had to hang out in the closet by the hangers. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Well, and I don't blame him. I mean, she got a good deal for this whole thing. They couldn't say no. So, and they needed that time. So,
Yeah.
Totally get it. So anyways, he's out for the rest of the week. So Gavin and I have to carry the burden that is the show. And I mean that in the best way possible.
Yes. And only a few breaks.
Yeah. So, Gavin, we talked a little bit about this. Did you watch any of the Trump inauguration? What did you see?
I've seen clips online. I've seen some funny and interesting things that he said that kind of are in character with him.
Yeah.
That you just kind of look at and you're like, this is just it's fun to watch. To be honest, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, it's interesting and it's funny. And I've only heard about like the Underwood stuff.
Yes.
Saw some funny videos that made you had like Bush or Obama just like making faces, reacting to things. It looked funny.
Yes. Oh, and I'm sure that there's going to be there's this one girl on TikTok that she will lip read because she's deaf.
Yes.
And I bet she's going to go through some of that and try and lip read what people are saying.
Hopefully.
Two, when they showed J.D. Vance, the vice president, him and his wife, it's kind of, I was asking my parents, I said, did they remember the time when this happened, when a presidential person was so close to their age? Because that's what's happening to me. So his wife.
So Vance being younger.
Yeah, he's a little bit older than me, but his wife is the same age as me. And they have 3 kids. It was just weird because it's like, okay, somebody my age could be running for vice president. It's just really weird. So he's 40 and she's 39. And they have a cute they brought their kids out for a minute. And they have 2 boys and a girl. And the youngest boy, he brought out his teddy bear with him, which I think was so cute.
That's sweet.
And then the little girl, she looks feisty. And she had her fingers covered in, they found out later, it was Bluey Band-Aids.
Oh, no way.
So she had Band-Aids all over her fingers. It was super cute. She had a really cute dress on. Some of the things that people were laughing at was... what's the name of Trump's wife, the model?
Not Bianca.
Look it up. Hold on, I can't remember.
We've got Google.
What's the name of the first lady?
He does have his little teddy bear. I had to look that up.
Melania. That's it. Okay, Melania, so Melania, they're saying that she was wearing a Hamburglar hat.
What?
Yeah, you need to look it up and see.
What in the world?
And after I read that, I was like, yeah, I could see that. So, and it's true.
Oh,
yeah, doesn't it? It kind of looks like a Hamburglar.
It looks like a Bond villain or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I went over to see my mom and dad yesterday, and they had it on, so that's the reason I watched most of it. But he said in his speech, it got super awkward. For me, I get secondhand embarrassment easily, but he's up there saying what he wants to say. And because they moved it inside because the weather was so cold, and that was last minute. So everyone is in closer quarters than they typically are if they're outside. So you could see as Trump is speaking, you can see Biden and Harris in the background, and they're just having to listen to everything Trump is saying.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's taken shot after shot after shot. It was, I got secondhand embarrassed. I mean, not to say it's free speech. You say what you want to say. But I was just like, ooh, and I know that's part of the job. As part of it, you got to sit there and you got to take it because you're going to get critiqued. So anyways, all that to say, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
How did you do? Bigger question. How did you do with the TikTok ban?
Oh, for whatever,
It was 12
like 12
hours,
hours
wasn't
of
it?
our life.
Oh,
because I think it was Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday?
I can't remember. Maybe Saturday.
It was in the evening, and I remember sitting there, and I thought it was supposed to be like midnight that it was gone, but it was like 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh, too soon. You didn't get to say
something.
goodbye.
And I kind of sat there and I was like, oh my God, I didn't get my last scroll in for TikTok. This is awful.
Oh,
and so I'm sitting there and it's hitting you with that little thing that says temporary, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And they even mentioned like, oh, we're working with Trump to make this happen. And then I started laughing because I saw a post that was like all these Gen Zers who vote for Trump just because he got TikTok back for them.
Oh, my word.
I thought that was
because
funny.
after the 12 hours, then a window popped up and it said,
congrats, we're back.
Thanks to President Trump, we're back and up and running. Anyway, all that to say, when it went down, we have a texting group between me, Wally, and Gavin. And Gavin sends out a text that said something like, well, it took a screenshot of the little window that says temporarily down. Wally sends back a text and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Mine's working and it's fine. And he sends a link to a TikTok video. And he's like, what you have to do is you have to go through this step, this step, this step, and this step on the backhand, and you can get your TikTok up and running again. Okay, I read that text message from Wally, and I said, he's pulling our chain. It's not real. But did you fall for it?
No, I went and I didn't turn off every app. Like he said, I just went and turned off TikTok and back on. I'm like, I wonder if that's true or not.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't work. I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh, I was just kidding with you.
The
Mine
first
doesn't
one.
work either.
I know.
Yeah, but when it was down, I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Like it forced you to not waste that time on TikTok.
See,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I just went to
once I get one, like you or Wally send me a link to a TikTok. Okay, you click it and it takes you straight to the TikTok app. Well, then you can easily just keep strolling.
Yep.
Keep it going. Keep it going. And I think I've said before, I have a 2-hour countdown on my TikTok app. So once I get over 2 hours in the day, it says, okay, we're shutting down. And I need that. And I think 2 hours is being very generous for me. I should take it down to an hour.
Sure.
Because, I mean, once I'm done, I'm like, what did I gain from
that?
No,
I
had to laugh.
It's a funny.
Sometimes I learn things.
Well, that's my thing is that I saw people posting about, they're like, oh, I guess I have to like go back to the old school way of learning how, or, figuring out recipes for things. Like I do, I get a lot of recipes from TikTok and a lot of knowledge on like hydration and working out and just all sorts of things. And so I take TikTok stuff and I try to apply it in real life just to give it some beneficial.
Kind of like what some would say about the Bible.
Yeah,
you read it and then apply it.
I've been doing that for 29 years. TikTok's just less. But I mean, you said, oh, this is good, not wasting time. I just went right to Reels.
Did you?
On Instagram, and I was like, I need something.
But it's not the same.
It's not as.
And I'll tell you, they could change their game if they would just make it where you could fast forward it.
Fast forward,
quickly.
Pause. You have to hold it. Like with TikTok, you push it and you pause it. But with Reels, you have to hold down the screen to pause it, and that is oddly annoying to me.
Yes. So if they changed it up a bit.
Yeah, they could be better because a lot of everyone who posts on, and I want to say, because with TikTok, the algorithm gives you the For You page.
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't have a For You algorithm per se that you might see stuff pop up that you follow. But TikTok says, okay, we know what you're watching. Here's more of that thing. Without you having to follow those people to get more of their videos. They'll just show them to you. Whereas Instagram does not do that technologically. So it's just kind of stumble upon what you stumble upon.
Up your game, Insta.
Yeah.
Up your game. I actually went through who I follow and all that on my Instagram, and I noticed I was up into the 600s, and I was like,
really?
Do I really follow this many people? So I went through it, and I unfollowed 101, I think, different accounts that I was like, what is this? And I might go through it again and even delete
It's a good
some
idea,
more.
actually.
What are you up to?
I'm at 391.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, and I don't scroll through I don't scroll through Instagram too often. I use it mostly to send back and forth like videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like with just people.
Yeah.
And post pictures of Bennett.
Of course.
That's literally all I do.
Okay, so we talked about this in the first. No, it was in the second news. But signs that you're an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am the only child, and I was shocked to hear you, Gavin, say that I'm the only child that you know.
I mean, I couldn't think of.
Except Bennett.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I can't think of another only child.
See, I have one more. My friend Dina, she's an only child. And everything that you said about signs that you're an only child, they all checked out so far.
Yeah.
So I've got this article pulled up.
You grab it?
Yeah, I'm going to see if there are any others. So they cut a piece of a cake in two and can't immediately tell which is bigger. Is that something you had to deal with?
No.
You and your siblings didn't. Y'all don't seem like y'all quarreled a lot.
We're a house full of
easygoing,
conflict avoidant. Don't push each other's buttons. Kind of.
Okay.
Family.
What about Haley, your wife?
Oh, they're terrible. I remember like you have the trope that is like, oh, family game night gets crazy. Hoo-hoo-hoo. And I literally went to their house to play like Parcheesi when we were young, maybe 19 years old. Mm-hmm. And like I thought her and her sister were going to literally fight because of how things were going. And I remember sitting there being like, I want to leave.
Really?
And she was like, oh, this is just how it is. And I was like, that's not okay to me. I hated it. Me and my siblings never roughhouse, never did all that. We had a lot of different interests, and all of our personalities are just so toned down.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Another one is they're great with people's parents because they grew up chatting with adults.
Yeah.
That is so true for me.
It took me a long time to be a good adult
really
talker, even though I'm almost 30, so it doesn't matter anymore. But it took a long time.
Yeah, because my dad, he was in the church I grew up in. He led the worship. And so I was like, and it was a lot of old people, and it was me and one other girl that was a year younger than me that were the only youth in that church. And so we were the apple of all the senior citizens' eye. But anyway, I would chat with them all the time. Like I didn't care. My parents couldn't find me. I'd be sitting with Ethel and Norm over there in Pew 9 and talking about, their aches and their pains. And I feel like I've been the same way too. Like I've noticed when some of my friends when I was younger, they didn't do too good with speaking to my parents or any of our friends' parents. But me, I'm just like, hey, Barb, how's it going?
You've just always been
Roger.
You were forced into old.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. You said they struggle with conflict. That is so true. Definitely, they leave their Halloween candy in the kitchen. Now I could see where that would be helpful for only children, but mine, my dad would get into my Halloween candy, so I did not leave it out.
I would do the same.
I set boundaries, and I said, Dad, you can have all the Snickers and all the Butterfingers, but everything else is mine. And we seem to do okay with that.
Oh, good relationship.
They get unreasonably angry about group punishments.
I've seen it happen one time.
Oh, yes.
We had a certain thing.
A work thing.
A work thing.
And it did bother me. That is true. Now, it bothered you, but you were more nonchalant about it.
I mean, like, I grew up playing sports, too. And so there were certain moments during, let's say, like practice where, Dylan did something wrong. And, messed up. And the coach was like, everyone on the side, we're running suicides. Which, I don't know, suicide is just running back and forth.
Terrible.
It's awful. But, sports. But I remember that ingrained in me that just, like, sometimes the unit needs to.
But was everybody mad at Dylan?
Yeah. But you don't love it, but you can handle it.
Dylan is the worst.
You kind of just know that it's a part of something that you're on. Because some people do view, it's hard. I have a harder time wrapping my brain around punishment being dictated to those who, in essence, like weren't the ones who made the choice that was the issue per se.
Yeah, I guess it brings camaraderie. You have a mutual enemy. Someone said their roughhousing skills are below par. They have a stronger aversion to gentle bullying.
I would not want to fight you, though.
Yeah, I would say, well, thank you. I would say that that's more you than it is me.
Oh, yeah, no. But again, like we were so soft as kids. Still am.
They're more independent and can do jobs that should take 2 to 3 people by themselves. But without having constant competition, they're actually slower at most things than people who grew up with siblings. Now, I will say competition is something I don't like. Yeah. I don't thrive in, maybe because I never had to deal with it. But I'm just like, if you want it that bad, fine. And then I just move on. I don't know. They talk to themselves a lot.
Do you?
I think I do.
Really? I don't, because
Wait, I have conversations with my cats.
Yeah. They're real, though. We've seen pictures.
What are you doing? What did you do with that? You're so cute. How did you get to be so cute? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
We lean towards like needing to talk, even if we're by ourselves. I talk to a baby all day, and he's true. Almost, he'll talk back someday, but for now, it's just. Who's a good boy? There's a stinky diaper. That's a stinky one. Oh my goodness.
Oh my word. They still have toys and stuff from their childhood. Do you not have any toys and stuff?
I want to say somewhere in the house is a stuffed dog from when I was a kid that I was like, oh, this will be cool to give to Bennett, but I don't know where he is. Hopper. I don't know where Hopper is. Yeah,
Aww.
He's like a little
it's cute.
Little puppy.
Bless. Yeah, I still have my baby blanket.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I still have that.
Do you like use it?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I feel like there was one other thing, but I don't remember. And then finally, someone said they don't guard themselves. So, like when you're laying down, I guess you would guard your stomach or your kidneys because some sibling could
I could take it.
Did that happen with you?
No. Again, no, we were not roughhousing kinds of kids. And
yeah.
And I will say that I grew up being the small friend a lot of the time. Aww. Just always been the short kid. And so if there was wrestling or, we used to duct tape pool noodles and PVC pipe and smack each other with it on the trampoline.
Wow.
I learned to guard.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was fun.
Okay, let me look at some birthdays. Woo-hoo. We've got one, and this was from the 19th. Emma to her mom, Emma. Laura. Happy birthday, Laura. She said she is funny, loving, and kind. She's the best mom ever.
You're the best.
She has a question, but it's a burning building question for Wally. Ooh. So I will skip that.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Let's do this one. Naomi, she wants to know, do you have a hobby that's weird to other people but makes you gloriously happy?
Oh, wow. Okay.
A hobby. I'll tell you one that I do that maybe some people would think is odd. In the past, I haven't done it in a while, but in the past, I have gone on places like eBay and have bought vintage paint by number kits.
Okay. I've seen you do that.
So they're not painted yet. They're brand new, never opened. And of course the paint is all dried up, like you can't use it. But you can still try and mix that paint. If you go to like Hobby Lobby and find that type of paint and mix it and make it look just the same. And I've actually done it once and I enjoyed it, but I have to be in the mood. So, and I haven't been for a while. So I would say that's a little odd. My other ones are just puzzles.
Yeah, it's not
so much.
No, people do that.
It's not like I saw on TikTok where there was a girl, it was the guy, he was a guy that was filming a video, and it was the last video he was putting up on TikTok, and he was like, I have to know before TikTok gets taken down, what about that girl that is collecting all her hair that falls off her head and she puts it on tape to make a wig? Like, where are you at?
That's funny.
I want an update.
There was a lot of people that posted their...
That's a weird hobby.
There were a lot of people that posted their goodbye videos on TikTok.
Saying goodbye to their Chinese spy. Yeah,
and I love the 12 hours later, we're back!
Yes,
like, man,
exactly.
we spent a lot of time mourning.
Yes.
But weird hobbies, though. I mean, like, I play golf. It's pretty normal. And right now it's so hard because I would love to have time for more hobbies. Like today, I want to do some work like later in the day, but I'm honestly I'm hustling home at a good time today because Bennett's still in daycare, and kind of am like, there's my little shot at like being home without a kid, which again, I think every single parent in the world like loves their child, but man, like
But I think if we're being honest
you
with
miss
ourselves,
your independence all the time. And honestly, I'm not even looking at it as I'm going to go home and sit on the couch and do nothing. Like I'm going to go home and do like chores that I don't usually
I was going to ask what you were going to do, if you were going to take a nap or if you were going to...
Haley's got a friend coming in tomorrow, so I want to make the house look good.
Clean up the place.
And you can try, and you can put him in a little bouncer on the table, and he'll sit there and be like, well, I'm good for a second. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, and you're like, I'm
Are you, though, of the class of parents that are like, you got to let them cry it out, figure it out?
I don't know. Sometimes, but it's funny because then I'll get caught up by psychologists I'll watch on TikTok that are like, yeah, it's not bad to go like comfort your child. Like it reminds them that they have that security blanket. And to be honest, they're like, yeah, there's not a lot of learning that happens when they're super, super young. I was like, I don't know.
What if you got one of those things like the women wear in Africa where they put the little backpack slings and you put him on that, okay, and you just carry him around?
Sometimes we do. Sometimes you put him in his little carrier in the front and do chores and stuff. And
yeah. My issue with that, though, would be I would be afraid that he would never let me have a moment. Right now we're struggling with contact naps. We didn't do a great enough job early on in saying like, all right, it's nap time. We're going to put you in the crib and we're going to learn how to do this. And it's tough because right now he sleeps through the night. He sleeps 7 to 6 or 7:30 to 6. Pretty good.
So we're in this zone where, very content, getting plenty of sleep. But then during the day, like, 3-day weekend this last, like if you try to put him down in like a bouncer or a crib, he loses it during the daytime. And so I'm like, this is a
that's a tough one.
I hope we grow and adjust. And I know he's not going to be a baby forever, but there are days when you're like, I can't get anything done.
Yeah.
Because he just needs constant attention.
Yes. I do not envy you.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I like my sleep.
I do too. And I
used to.
I'm glad for how nights are these days, because those first couple months when you're up every 2 hours or 3 hours, that was hard.
Yeah.
That was not as, I did not adjust to that like I thought I might. I thought like, oh man, I'm trained to wake up early and not get sleep because of this job. No, that's different.
I know.
It's very different.
I never became a morning person.
No, still not.
Still not.
Will not be.
Yeah.
If you hear us at 6 a.m., being great and having fun, it's like that's
it's all an act.
It's a bit forced. The only person it's not forced from is Wally.
Unless I have Chick-fil-A in my hand.
Oh man,
I'm good to go.
If you've got the hope of food on the horizon,
ain't it the truth?
It is a lot more doable.
It's so true.
Okay.
All right, guys.
We'll be back tomorrow and Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yes.
But we're out Friday.
Yes.
But that's a little ways away. So
and then we come back to normal.
Yep.
But then that's only for a week, because then I think we have support drive.
Oh boy.
Coming up soon.
Oh boy.
So it's going to be a fun next month or so.
All right. Well, thanks for being a potty. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.